Hello and welcome to RMTV and welcome back to Final Whistle episode 3. So on this episode we're going to be looking forward to our next game at home, which is against Northampton Town, which we are going to, which should be a good game to watch. And this episode we are going to be answering some of the fans' questions that have come in for episode 3. So I'm looking forward to answering your guys' questions. So let's look towards Northampton Town then. So for Northampton Town, their form has been not bad, but I wouldn't say it's too bad because recently they won their last game against Stevenage. They won 2-1. That was away at Stevenage, and made them won that one. But they drew the last 2 games against Crawley Town and Lincoln City. Won against Tranmere, and then they lost 4-0 against Colchester United. But Northampton Town are currently sitting in 16th place. That's just 1 place below, or 2 places just below Crewe. They are sitting on 16th, which they've lost 1, drawn 1 at their last 5 matches, whereas Crewe have 1 drawn, lost their last game, and that's something that we need to talk about as well. How Crewe lost their last game, to try and point out the errors from that match, which I didn't go to. I saw the highlights, and there were some errors which someone asked a certain question that has something to do with that error, which I'll go on to in a few minutes' time. So I think with Northampton Town, since they have been on a alright sort of like form, I want to say we will try and beat Northampton Town. If I look into Crewe, Northampton Town, if we beat them last time, I can't remember. I'm going to have to look at one now. We lost against them back in last year, 3rd of November. We lost 2-0 against them, with goals from Andy Williams and D. Powell. Now, that's another player who I was going to talk about as well against Northampton Town. Andy Williams looks to be their best player, who we need to look out for. Is our number 1 player, because in his last few matches he has scored 8 goals. He scored the most goals, and then second is Pereira, then Hoskins, and then Marias. I just hope Crewe can do very well against Northampton Town this time. Try and show what we're made of, because if you look at the fixtures, because that the last time we played them, we played Northampton Town back on the 3rd of November. I think I went to that match as well, you know. I can't remember what matches I went to, because it was last year, and I did go to a few away matches last year. But Andy Williams and D. Powell seem to be their players to look out for. But with Chris Porter in the hat as well, because Chris Porter has been on form with him scoring goals recently. In his last few matches, Chris Porter has been banging in goals left, right and centre. Only 1, but he scored 1 against Exeter City, which is good for us, because we got, even though we didn't get the point, we managed to get a goal back to level it to 1-1, and then Exeter came back and scored the second goal, try and get 2-1 against us. Now, I want to say about Crewe as well. Crewe have come to an end with their unbeaten run. It's a bit unfortunate, really, how that's happened. As we're going to answer one of your questions right now about that unbeaten run, coming from Andrew Hitchley. He says, how many own goals will you think we will score between now and the end of the season? Because the reason of that own goal was because of, I can't remember whose foot it came off. It might have come off, I can't remember. I think someone said it was Perry NG's foot it came off, but I'm not entirely sure, because obviously everyone was around that box, Ben Garrett tried to put his hands to it and he just couldn't get to it. But as soon as Exeter knocks it towards one of our players, it was not gone in. It just clipped off one of our players' foot and went in the back of our own goal, which is a bit unfortunate how that happened, really. But how many own goals I think we will score? I think really they'll build up from that mistake, and then they'll go again against Northampton Town, and the rest of the end of the season try and not make any mistakes getting own goals. That's what we don't want to be doing. That's what we don't want to be doing in the next matches. But yeah, if we go again against Northampton Town and try and beat them, try and show what we're actually made of, because we've got 2 new players. One's gone back to Newcastle. One went back to Newcastle just to play for the under-23s, and that's another question one of you guys asked. It was Mark Hamer who asked the first question, because he's got 3 questions for us. First one is about what I'm talking about. When do you think either fullbacks that currently on loan will get a start? I don't think Perry, NG or Pickering deserve to be dropped, but what do you think? Because I mean, we've got Jamie Sterry and Aaron Taylor Sinclair on loan, and there's like 12 matches left till the end of the season, and we don't really want them. Well, when I say we don't want them, I mean Perry, NG and Pickering. We don't want them to be dropped, because Perry, NG and Pickering are playing very well at the minute. Because I remember the last game I went to, Perry, NG played absolutely fantastic. He was belting up and down the wing, trying to get as far as he can, trying to help out the midfielders. That was fantastic for Perry to do that. And Pickering's been pretty decent, to be honest. But speaking about Jamie Sterry and Aaron Taylor Sinclair, in recent news, Artel has said that Jamie Sterry's got to be patient till he's played. Because I think Jamie Sterry got a goal in the under-23s of Newcastle, and I really hope Jamie Sterry gets game time, and Aaron Taylor Sinclair, because I think Aaron Taylor Sinclair's been given game time, like 1 match for us a minute, but I don't think it's been put on for long, which is not really good for him, because I really want them to get a full 90-minute start under their belt, because they haven't had much game time for. I don't think they've had much game time for both their clubs. But if Dave Artel does something by the end of the season, it'd be fantastic. But you never know. He might start one of them against Northampton Town to try and help out try and sort out the fullbacks. But honestly, Perry, NG and Pickering, they're alright. They are alright as they are where they are for the time being. But just giving Jamie Sterry or Aaron Taylor Sinclair a go by the end of the season, it'd be fantastic. Anyway, so moving on from the Northampton game, we're going to answer your guys' questions to see what you guys have asked. I'll try and think of something that might be a good sort of way of telling you guys what I think of the Alex. So we're going to go with Mark Hamer again, because Mark Hamer's got 3 questions. So I've answered one. I'm going to answer his second question now. Saying, what are your views on the Boo Boys that had a go at Kirk and in general at the end of the match? Well, I wasn't there for that match, and I heard a lot about it. Now, I heard a lot about it, and I heard people saying don't give the players stick, because obviously they're in the wrong. They're supposed to be in the wrong, but they are there to be not shown up, and they're there to try and prove a point, to try and be better. But obviously I didn't see how Kirk played. I'm only going off what I saw of the highlights, because I think Kirk, I don't know if Kirk messed up or not, but the Boo Boys who booed the players at the end of the match are basically letting them are letting the players down, and you're also letting yourselves down for booing the players, because obviously they didn't make their mistake. They made the mistake on accident. Did they know? They didn't do it on purpose. They wanted to, whatever they did to make you guys boo at the players. It's wrong to boo at your players. You're supposed to be there to support the players and don't let their players' heads drop. Make sure you give them loads of positive attitude, and all that positive attitude you build up inside the stadium, it gives the players the boost of wanting to play better. Don't boo them, because it only lets their confidence down, if you know what I mean. Because you don't want to be doing that at all. So for the people who booed the players at the end, never do that ever again. Just support your players, support why they're there, support your club, support the managers, the players, whoever you think's best. Just don't let them down. Just keep the positive attitude and keep the positive thoughts going around the stadium, and it'll give the players that boost to try and play better, to try and prove to you guys, to us, to hopefully win some more matches. Question three and another question coming in from Becky Brock is the same question, so I'll go off Becky's one and then I'll go off Mark Hamer's question at the same time. So Becky has said, do you think we can still make the playoffs? And then Mark said, I say so. There's still, what, 33 points left to play for? That is true. So there is like that many amount of points left for us to play for. But do I still think we can make the playoffs? I don't know. I would like us to reach the playoffs. It'd be fantastic to try and get us to either attempt to go Wembley once again for us. If we go Wembley, that'd be fantastic to try and see who we can play, because the last time we went to Wembley, I believe we played Cheltenham Town. But even if we did make it to the playoff final, I'd be more than happy about that. So we get to go to the Wembley trip once again. But obviously when we had the unbeaten run at home, I believe the unbeaten run was away and at home, so if he continued that unbeaten run, we would have been able to get those points, as we are currently sitting in 14th. And look at the teams who are at the top, like Exeter, Forest Green, Colchester, MK Dons, Mansfield, Bury and Lincoln. Try and get there. It'd be fantastic if we can get the 3 points and go near the playoff places. In my opinion, I'm going to say yes. I'd like to say the playoff places are still in sight, because I wouldn't mind Crewe trying to be their best, because I think at the start of the season we had a good, because obviously us Crewe fans got a little bit too excited, okay? At the start of the season when who did we play? Did we play Morecambe? I'm gonna have to look at my video now. Who we played, and we won 6-0 at home. That was a good game for us, where we won 6-0 and we were at the top of the table for one match. Obviously, we weren't gonna exactly stay there, were we? Because we've got all the tough teams, haven't we? So let's have a look. Where was it? Against Morecambe 6 months ago, we won 6-0. That was obviously a good game, and I call that video speechless, as we banged in 6 goals against Morecambe, because Morecambe seemed a bit easy to play. And if you look where Morecambe are now, Morecambe are sitting in 20th with a bad form of, I don't know, Morecambe won 2 matches in their last 5, but they drew, lost, won twice and lost. So I don't know. I don't know about Morecambe, but Morecambe look like they're going down. Looks like another team could be going down as well, which is our rivals, Port Vale. So it'd be nice to see Port Vale go down, and people were saying about Macclesfield as well not going down because it's a great away day to go to. But looks like those bottom teams, having Notts County being there, Notts County being at the bottom of the table, along with Macclesfield and Port Vale, that's quite of a weird one seeing them there. But yeah, as I was saying about the playoffs being in sight of us, I think the playoff places are still in sight because if we play well against Northampton Town on Saturday, it'd be a fantastic game, and hopefully we can go again and keep going till our next match, which I believe is Tranmere Rovers away. And if you look where Tranmere are sitting in ninth with 1 loss, a win, draw, and 2 wins against their name. They're sitting in ninth. And then if you look at our last game against Tranmere, I think, let's see. So we won 3-2 against Tranmere. We beat them in the Football League Trophy, and then we beat them again at home. So we went away at Tranmere, beat them in the Football League Trophy 4-3, and then we beat them last time at home with Callum Ainley scoring 2 and Charlie Kirk scoring 1 against Tranmere. So I think because of those 2 wins, I think we'll do it. I think we'll really do it. So in my opinion, the playoff places are still in sight. So that'd be fantastic for Crewe to try and do that. Now, moving on to our final question, coming in from Ollie Edwards. What are your thoughts on the plans to get flags displayed in the Greater Road End? My thoughts on that is generally a really good idea because, as you see, I've got 1 flag behind me at the minute. This flag is already in the Greater Road End. That's obviously not my flag because this is mine. Someone put their flag in the Greater Road End at the top corner, I think it is. Having the flags in the Greater Road End is a good idea because obviously where a lot of people sit above them, there is no advertisement boards whatsoever. So that's why the flags are there. Having flags there is fantastic because I think if we remember Fleetwood Town, when we go Fleetwood's ground, obviously they're not in our league, but when you went to Fleetwood, they had flags up in their stand as well. That's one ground I remember which had their flags. And then say you go to a big Premier League club and you see flags dotted all the way around the stadiums. That kind of shows how much the fans are. It just shows how much the fans are wanting to give the club a bit of trying to display the flags off at their club and showing their club their colours and how much support goes into the club, really, having flags up around the ground. But having flags displayed in the Greater Road End at Crewe is a fantastic idea because I've got a big one sat in the bottom of the Greater Road End, which has I think I've got a picture of it on here, so I will put it on screen for you guys to look at. It says it's basically a replica of this flag, but it has another word on it saying "We're the Railwaymen" just below this Crewe Alex bit here. So I basically made that flag bigger. So having the flags down there in the Greater Road End is a fantastic idea, and I don't know if they're both ends the main stand, but we've got 2 Wembley flags. One's when we went to Cheltenham and one's against Southend. But definitely 100%, the thoughts of getting the flags displayed in there is a fantastic idea. Just to cover up the advertisement boards, showing the fans, or giving the away fans something to look at in the Greater Road End, because obviously it's a bit boring without any advertisement. So it's best to show your support for the Alex in the Greater Road End. So yeah, anyway guys, I'm going to end this episode off here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you drop a like rating, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be against Northampton Town, and there'll be probably a podcast after it as well, so I'll be looking forward to filming that for you guys. So anyway guys, I'm going to leave you to it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.